And building on those strengths says, man, they've got the drive and the motivation in that area. And if you could just go with it and see where it leads them and encourage them, you're going to have what every parent wants for their child, which is a child that's happy, one that feels competent and confident in themselves and their abilities to achieve. But you've got to look at what they want to achieve, not what you think they should try to achieve.
Hi, I'm Stacy Neustadt. I am a speech language pathologist and the CEO at Making Sense of Autism, and I'm a student of Susan.
And I'm Susan Galabach. I am a now retired occupational therapist who has worked many, many years after I discovered even my own autism with other autistic individuals. I founded Making Sense of Autism because of my passion to not only understand my brain and how it worked differently, but to try to explain what I've learned to other people so that they're more understanding and therefore more accepting and more accommodating to autistic individuals.
So, our goal is to help you provide the right support without trying to fix autism, but by understanding it. So, whether you're a parent, teacher, therapist, or just someone who wants to learn, you're in the right place. Be sure to subscribe and join us every week. We talk about a new topic. So it's 2026, and every year we pick a new word that we will use for the whole year that'll kind of be our North Star, what we are going to focus on. And when we chose the word hope as a word this year, it wasn't just about being positive or optimistic. It's really about believing there's a better way to understand autistic individuals, to understand autistic behavior, especially for people who feel exhausted, feel like they blame themselves that they aren't helping their child or their student better, or feel stuck. So when you hear that word hope, what does that mean for you as an autistic individual?
I mean, the first thing that came to mind was every parent has dreams for the child that's born, what they hope that child will achieve, what they hope that their child will be happy. So let's put this in terms of what is it we hope for our autistic children? Not that we're going to fix them or change them, because that's totally unrealistic. So, what do we hope for our autistic individuals? Yes, that they find less anxiety in living in the world, that they find um, connection, social connection with other people who understand and respect them, and not necessarily want to change them, but that can appreciate them for who they are, and appeal to their strengths and encourage them to use their strengths for what they can achieve in the future. And building on those strengths says, man, they've got the drive and the motivation in that area. And if you could just go with it and see where it leads them and encourage them, you're going to have what every parent wants for their child, which is a child that's happy, one that feels competent and confident in themselves and their abilities to achieve. But you've got to look at what they want to achieve, not what you think they should try to achieve. So hope is for what it is you want most for your that autistic individual in your life to have, that you with your support can give them.
And I love how you mentioned what the individual wants. And because yes, parents hope that their child makes social connections, but it's so important to look at are they ready for that? So that might be a hope, and that might be something that, yes, might happen one day, but it's so important to look at, are they ready for that? And if they're not quite ready for that, what are they ready for that you still hope they achieve? Maybe even that independence or communication or building on what they already enjoy and learning more about the things that they love to learn. And I feel like with even with our full neuro-affirming, neuro strength-based assessment, we go into very detailed information on those topics. But even with our quick form of looking at what are their strengths, what are they interested in right now, what are their potential strengths, what do they seem to want to learn. But
Mhm.
what are they unready for? Which I have to say, when I do this quick form, it blows my mind what I discovered. And it doesn't matter if the kiddo is low support need, level one, or higher support need, level two. When we hope for something, say the social interaction, but they are unready. It's so important that we identify that. And I just had a client the other day where very verbal, very, very intelligent. And the hope is for a social interaction. We were at the park, and I know parents are really wanting him to interact with the other kids. But when we try it, he is like, no, 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 I want to play with mom and dad. And so yes, we hope for that, but he's not ready yet. He has no motivation. He doesn't see. So it's going back to even like, okay, where is he at? Even with like understanding his emotions, we got to start there if he's going to have that emotional connection with other people. So I love that we have these hopes because they're so important. It gives us a direction to go. But we also have to look at, okay, where are they at on that journey? And then let's start there. And the only way we can do that if we know what to look for. And I think that is the biggest missing piece, right? Even as a speech therapist, that is the biggest missing piece. And until you taught me how to observe the way that I observe, in I would have never known what to look for, especially with this kiddo. I'm thinking, oh, we'll work on social skills. We'll work on him asking the friends to play, but he's not ready. He has to start at the emotional part because he doesn't even know his own emotions. And if he doesn't know his emotions, he's not going to make that emotional connection of why do I want to ask this person to play? And so my hope this year is that everyone starts to see those missing pieces.
And that's where you already pointed out he would rather interact with his parents than the other kids. So what is he ready for now? The relationship between his parents hasn't been fully established yet. He doesn't feel that connection from them that he desperately needs to feel accepted for who he is. How is he going to venture out to strangers and feel confident in himself as a worthy person to interact with if he doesn't get that feeling from his parents first? And that's exactly what he's saying. No, I need to strengthen my connection with my parents, which means they need to turn around and relook at just how emotionally supportive are we of him.
And I have to say, this family, when I observe, they're very, very supportive and I mean, they're, seeking neuro-affirming therapy, and they just absorb all the information I share with them and are definitely um, learning how to view him through a new light. And so if parents in their minds are like, I am supportive, I am, there for them, what are some key phrases or key things that maybe they start to be aware of to make sure that their child also sees? Because I know as parents, right, we do for
Mm-hmm,
them. We
mm-hmm,
we we meet
mm-hmm.
their needs, we do all these things, But what would support really look like?
This is where um, typical people tend to make assumptions. They assume that he understands what their actions mean and are conveying in terms of all the nonverbal communication that occur in a relationship, the gentle reaching out and touching, the words that they use. Unfortunately, that's the area of the brain, those soft skills that autistics don't easily pick up. We do need concrete, i.e., we need our parents to be able to um, concretely, not just through their actions, but through their words, to be able to let us know, you know what, I see what you're doing. I don't always understand, but I can tell you really feel excited about it. You see how you're giving them the words to understand what they're feeling? They may be feeling it, but they don't have the words, but the parents are helping them provide that. I see you are excited when you're digging in the mud and it must feel great to you. Um, uh, Show me how, or that desire to play the way they play, to enter into their world. That those are the kinds of things that are oftentimes missing. The parents say, I show them my love through the things I do. But if the autistic isn't picking it up, they don't interpret. They're not seeing that. They actually need to be shown and told what they're missing in terms of not intuitively picking up the nonverbal ways people are communicating. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And it's making me even think of our conversations about that shared connection or shared interests of talking about, because like you said, just because maybe the parent joins in the Legos, maybe they're not picking up that, oh,
Mhm.
these are both things. So actually saying, oh, I
Right.
love playing Legos with you.
Mhm.
Let's build this together. This is so much fun. This makes me happy.
Oh,
And
yes.
talking about the emotion with it. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. Vocalize what you're doing and saying and what it means so that they pick up and it's going to be like, you do? Oh, oh, not thinking about. Oh, now I know what to look for when I see this in you. That's what you're communicating to me. But right now, I'm not tuned into, I'm not picking it up. You're just doing what you do, and I'm doing what I do, and I'm not paying any attention to the input. So make me aware of what it is you're doing and saying with your actions by
Yes.
using your words.
That makes so much sense. So I really hope this year that people start to be more curious and observe and continue to listen. Every week we put out a new video. We have a bunch from 2024, a bunch from 2025. So look through those as well. But this year we're going to continue to share this information, help you make sense of what you're observing and dig deeper. Like I said, these things I would have never thought that's where I have to start in order to teach my clients about social interactions. And I know
Mhm.
we often start up here. We start with conversation, especially with a verbal kiddo, but he needs to start way down here to feel that emotional connection. So we'll definitely talk a lot about that this year as well as the nervous system, the interoception, all those pieces. There's so many layers to understanding each other, understanding autism. And so our hope is that you follow us this year. We're going to be doing monthly workshops. So every month there'll be a different workshop. We will be launching in February our neuro strength-based assessment course again. I will put the link for our free quick form that kind of gives you a taste of what this looks like and the information you'll gather. Just a small taste of it, but we really hope that you join us this year on this journey and listen to Sue. I know I have learned so much from her, and we hope you join us in 2026. Well, thank you, Sue. I appreciate all your information again today.
Thank you for asking, Stacy.